We've been talking about home security on the channel for a while now, and in this case, Imilad has sent us one of their latest presentations, the EC6 Panorama, because it's a camera that comes with two lenses that allow us to generate a 180-degree view on the same plane. This camera is super interesting. You're going to see throughout the video that it has a lot of features that make it very unique. And above all, to highlight from the beginning that the purchase price is quite economical compared to the possibilities it offers us and other competitions that we have already seen on the channel or other competitions that are on the market. In this case, it is a camera that is compatible with well-known applications such as, for example, Xiaomi Home, the typical one for all Xiaomi Home devices, as well as being compatible with Alexa and Google Home automations. In this video lab, we'll do a full review of this camera. Do you already know what these types of cameras are for? Do you know it's for monitoring our house, a room, or simply, for example, a place? And that every time it detects movement at a time we have predefined, it sends us an alert to our mobile. This way, we can enter, see it in real time, and act by sending notifications. You will see many things in the video, including someone talking to the person in front of the camera. Curious things. To say that this camera is made to hang from a ceiling or a wall, it is not made to be placed on a table or absolutely any other type of place. This adapter is fixed in place, so we can't remove the camera from this position. That's quite important. Then we are going to get a cable to also connect it, if we want, via internet, the adapter as well. The device records a 180-degree field of view using its two cameras. Was there something else you wanted me to comment on? We have a 344-degree horizontal rotation and 90 degrees vertical. In addition, we have spotlight functions, which means it's going to do automatic tracking. A 3.5K quality that looks very well defined, and a color night vision. How is this? Well, basically, we're going to have night vision, and the moment a movement is detected, it's going to turn on these two flashes that we have on the front to illuminate the entire surroundings. This camera is going to detect vehicles, people, non-motorized vehicles, and any type of movement. We're going to be able to set personalized voice alarms. The camera is compatible with Wi-Fi 6, so it's not necessary to connect it via Ethernet. It's going to have a super stable connection. It will have IPv6 protection against water and dust, making it suitable for outdoors. Which is, in the end, what this camera is made for, with a working temperature between -30 and 60 degrees. It can be installed on a ceiling, wall, or columns. And that we have 3 months free of cloud, that is, of the recordings in the cloud, so as not to need local storage. However, I have inserted a micro-secure digital card in my case. But however, let's see the unboxing and then we see the practical examples and how this camera works. Let's unbox the Imilad EC6 Panorama. First of all, let's mention that it comes with a 128 GB micro-secure digital card, which we are going to use to insert it into the camera and save the clips in which it detects movement locally without paying any kind of subscription. So, we're going to leave this one aside to use it later. How do you see the box of the Imilad EC6? Panorama already indicates to us what the camera is like, that it works with the Xiaomi Home application, and that it is compatible with Alexa and Google Home. On this side here, it indicates some technical data, others on this side here, and well, we're going to take it out directly. As you can see, everything comes very well organized in this little plastic hole here. Here, I suppose, come cables, charger, and the camera itself, which really surprises me, because it has a quite considerable size. It includes a sticker indicating that our house is protected 24/7 by Imilad. And as you see, this is the unboxing. We are going to directly take the camera out of the plastic to see what it's like. And this would be the camera. The camera is made from a single block. And we would just have to install the base, which would be this one here on the ceiling, using these upper hooks. Or if we want to put it on the wall, we will use the hooks that come here to these sides and also on the opposite side. What will you be seeing in this area here? As you can see, the camera has good movement. I don't want to force it too much, but for example, vertically, we would already be seeing that it has this movement here. Then, on this upper part, or well, the lower part of the camera, there is a small cover with 2 screws. What is this for? Well, basically, this is where we are going to find the reset button and the slot for the micro SD. And this cable that you see hanging here is quite interesting because it will allow us two things. Firstly, powering the camera is crucial for it to function. And then we will have the possibility to connect an Ethernet cable that is wired internet connection. However, don't worry because this camera has Wi-Fi 6, so if you have a good connection at your home through Wi-Fi 6, you will have a very good connection. As you can see, this IMILAB F6 Panorama has two cameras, which is the peculiarity of this camera. We have one camera here and another one here, which would give us a complete 180-degree view. Then, this thing you see here would serve as an infrared sensor to see in the dark. Then, the microphone would be located in this central part. I don't know if you can appreciate it, it has a small slot there. And the speaker to be able to talk with, for example, a person who breaks into our house and warn them that we are recording would be located in this back part. The single block camera design is crucial for achieving IP66 water and dust resistance. Inside the box that we initially took out, what are we going to find? Well, two stickers that will help us mark the drills we will have to make if we want to put it on the wall or on the ceiling. Then we will find, well, all kinds of adapters, the plugs that we would have to put on the wall or on the ceiling, and of course the original charger with a super long cable so that the camera's power can reach any part of the house. The connection is very simple. We just click to add a new device and with Bluetooth activated, it already detects the camera. Let's say we want to make a wireless connection because I have good Wi-Fi. It sets up the default password for us. We just click to continue. And we connect. We enter the verification code that the camera itself tells us, and it automatically connects to the application and starts working automatically. We are going to explain the main functions that this IMILAD EC6 Panorama has. As you can see, we come to the mobile application that I'm going to show you from the mobile, and we are going to click on the Xiaomi application in the camera in the F6 Panorama. Here we are going to have the interface in which we are going to be able to control absolutely all the controls of this camera. Let's see, the first thing we are going to have is the visualization at the top, which is at 180 degrees. Yes, for whatever reason, if we want to have two separate images from the two cameras, we could do it from this button here. However, I will reassemble it into a single 180-degree piece. Of course, if we want, we can put it horizontally, although your screen will be turning all around now. Then we will be able to control the video quality. We can set the lighting manually. We can also lower the brightness or increase it. And also, if we want to listen to the audio that is happening on our camera at any time, we could do it from the speaker button. Of course, we can also put the camera in suspension. Now, useful things. If, for example, we want to talk to a person, an alarm has gone off that a movement has been detected, and we want to talk to the person who is in front of our camera. It doesn't have to be a thief, but simply an Amazon delivery person. We could do it from this microphone here, although it won't let me now because I'm recording the screen. But just so you know, it could be done from there. Similarly, we will be able to manually activate an alarm by pressing the following button. As you can see, it's quite alarming, and of course people are going to realize that they are being detected. The following buttons would be used to take a photo, a manual video, although I have it set up to be recording on the 128GB card continuously. And finally, we would have a manual control of what would be the camera for, hey, well, if manually we want to go to a certain angle or something like that, we'll be able to do it. I take this moment to show you on screen that there are times when you can notice a little bit the cut of the two cameras in the center of the image. Although it is not normal because you see it moves by itself, because I have it set to automatically detect people. You will see that if I, for example, now move around the room, the camera will follow me and keep me centered at all times in the center of the image. Well, obviously, when I turn my back, it can't do absolutely anything else. Then in the alarm options, we are going to have all the detected events. These have been all the times that the camera has detected a movement of a person, an animal, a car, other types of vehicles, which is in beta but can also be done. And well, after all, any type of event that we have programmed then in playback, we can reproduce the events that have happened during today. As you are seeing, I started recording a while ago, so here we would have on the micro SD card all the events perfectly recorded. Then, further down, we could manually go to each of the recordings that have been made. The artificial intelligence function, which is crucial, is where we will be able to activate or deactivate as we want this camera to detect the events. For example, if we wanted to detect people, we could do it here and also have it marked with a square where it is detecting the person. The same with vehicles, with non-motorized vehicles, with a virtual gate like this. What this would allow us to do is basically say, hey, imagine that I just want this camera to monitor that space that I marked there, and when there is movement there, it indicates it to me. If there is outside of that zone, it doesn't tell me anything useful. We could do it, but I won't. I wanted to monitor everything, so I'm going to deactivate this. And here we are also telling it that when the camera detects any type of change in the image, to notify us. Well, up to here you already have the basics. However, hey, then you have more options, some interesting, for example, the night vision function. This is what is going to allow us, well, say if we wanted to detect people at night using infrared with this typical night image with greenish tones that doesn't turn on any light. Or if we want to do it on the contrary, using this flash that the camera incorporates. This is up to personal tastes, based on how discreet or not you want this camera to be. The detections, then another thing, the tracking of humans. This is precisely what it will allow us, what I was showing you. If I move around the room right now, for example, you will see that the camera turns to follow me and keep me centered at all times. However, hey, if you want to have the camera at a fixed point, simply watching the same angle constantly, then you deactivate this option and that's it. Acoustic and optical alerts are also crucial, such as when someone enters the monitored area. Let him find out, possibly through voice activation, for example. A customized alert, or then, for example, some messages that are already pre-recorded within the application. I'll deactivate it so it's not too heavy now. We would also have an alert for lighting in such a way that it can, for example, blink slowly. Here we are going to see all kinds of events that can occur and that are going to trigger these types of alerts, such as the light blinking. I have all of them activated and the time at which we want it to activate. It can be 24 hours every day, only on weekdays, on weekends, or we can set custom time periods. I'm going to leave it on 24 hours so it can monitor at all times. The camera calibration is important so it knows where the recording limits are, both above, below, to the left, and to the right. So every now and then I recommend you do it or activate it automatically in the human track option. We will also be able to activate the camera's operation during certain hours, not only to alert us, but simply there are hours when it stops working. We could do it from this menu here. Choose the type of notifications we want to be sent to our mobile. When, for example, a person moves or someone enters within that delimited perimeter that we had discussed previously, okay, now we are going to do a test. I'm going to leave the room and you are going to see how the process would be in which the camera is following me. At all times, it has me tracked. I leave the room, turn off the light, and as you can see, it activates automatically. The night vision. He has returned to that position because he believes it is the default position. And now what I'm going to do is go back into the room. I turn on the light. As you can see, the color returns, and now as soon as I start walking to that default position, it's going to detect that there's a person here and it's going to be tracking me at all times while also sending notifications to the mobile device. Do you now see that my head is cut off? And this is basically because the camera is at its limit. As for tilting, this is made to hang from a ceiling and have complete control of the room. As you can see, it tracks quite well at all times. Also, let me tell you that of course everything is being recorded, both movements and people, which is mostly what it's detecting, people's movements. And here we could see it re-recorded or even downloaded to our mobile, and the final moment arrives. What do I think about this camera's pros, cons, and price? Well, this camera has been a camera that I really liked. I think it has very innovative features, like the issue of color night recording. In addition, it's a camera with very good resolution, with very good motion detection speed. However, we have some cons, such as, for example, things that limit it, because the first thing is that it's so big, which makes it very noticeable in the end. That is, if what we're trying with the security camera is to hide it, this one is going to be quite noticeable. And then I would also comment a bit on the software topic. Because I did notice during the test that there were moments, for example, when the light alert was not working and it's simply a matter of turning the camera off and back on. After having been doing a lot of configurations, it seems that when we are fiddling with many parameters, there is one that does not save well and it starts to not work. With everything we want, however, we do a restart and it is perfectly established. From that point, it works well, just so you know and keep it in mind. Is it also true that this could be the problem with the Xiaomi application? So well, really. I think a software update is needed there. We have brought it to the brand's attention and well, they will try to solve it. Now comes the crucial moment of the price, which I believe is one of the most significant aspects of this camera. A single camera costs over 160, but the goal is to purchase multiple units. If we needed to buy, for example, 6 cameras, the price would be 726 euros, making each camera much cheaper. And hey, we can set up a system to control our entire house, an entire ship, for example, or a series of rooms individually, well, for a price that I think is quite economical, all centralized in the Xiaomi app. And also with the possibility of uploading those videos to the cloud. And hey, if someone decides for whatever reason to vandalize the camera or whatever, they have already been recorded in the cloud, and there would be no need to recover the secure digital card that we have inserted. Having said that, I hope you liked the video, that you found it interesting, that you liked this Imilad's EC6 Panorama. If so, let us know in the comments. Any kind of doubt you can also leave there, and we will leave in the description more information about the camera and the purchase leaks. Having said that, I hope you liked the video and see you in the next one. Goodbye.